If you're getting ready to hire, you need to make sure that you're 100% clear on what your needs and the needs of your business are. Whether you're hiring due to growth or to stop some bleeding, you need to understand how your new hire will not only solve some of your short-term needs, but also contribute to the overall success of the business. In some of our previous videos, we defined the 10 steps that we feel you should consider when you're hiring. And in our last video, we talked about the first step, which is your mindset and identifying your needs. If you haven't seen our first video, there'll be a link below, and it's worth a watch as your mindset can have a huge impact on your next hire. Assuming you're in the right headspace and ready to move forward, we've put together a list of 5 steps that we think you should consider to truly uncover what the business, you, and your team need out of your next hire. Once you complete the following, you'll have the basis of an internal description which will set you up for success when laying out your recruitment strategy. Step number 1 is start with a short, engaging overview of the job. I suggest starting here as this can help you determine how much time you're going to need to invest in a needs analysis. You should be able to summarize the position details in 1 to 4 sentences. This 1 to 4 sentence overview should include a description of the job's major functions, how it contributes to the larger company objectives, and why it's important not just to the company, but to the mission, vision, and values of the business. If you can't easily summarize the position, don't worry, follow the following steps and use this test to assess whether or not you're ready to move forward onto your recruitment strategy. Step number 2 is to perform a job analysis. This is a process of gathering, examining, and interpreting data about the job's task. Each company will have different needs here, and your tasks within these steps will look very different if you're hiring your first versus hundreds of employees, but doing the following will supply information about the job so you can move through to a hire with confidence. Performing a job analysis could include some of the following 4 steps. First, ask yourself or interview employees to find out exactly what tasks are being performed. Go micro and macro with this and document everything. You'll sometimes be blown away as you might find out that you or some of your employees are doing the work of 2, 3, or even 4 people. This can also help you build out an org chart as you'll start to better understand and define sales, service, operations, and other functions, and better understand where your priorities lie. Number 2 is observe how some of these critical tasks are being performed. Do you need to redefine your systems or processes? Ask yourself how easy it would be to integrate someone new at this stage. Step 3 is determining critical factors. Again, you'll want to document and review these factors when hiring and look to identify any other critical aspects of the position. You'll want to determine how important each factor is and consider listing them in order. An example of some critical factors might be position-specific knowledge, aptitude, skill, motivation, physical characteristics and requirements, environmental factors, credentials, and previous experience that might be required. Step 4 is establish the essential functions. This can help if you've experienced a lot of turnover or if you're struggling to define what key factors are critical for the success of the position. Once a performance standard for a particular job has been made, the essential functions of the position should be defined. Defining these functions can encompass some of the following steps. First, ensure that the tasks that are part of the job are a necessary function to truly perform the job. 2 is determine the frequency of which a task is being performed and how much time is being spent performing that task. 3 is determine the consequences of not performing that function and whether or not this would be detrimental to the operation or result in severe consequences. 4 is determine if the task can be redesigned or performed in another manner. And 5 is determine if the task can be reassigned to another employee. Once the essential functions are defined, you can decide as to whether these functions are essential or marginal. The use of the term essential function is a great term to include in an internal job description and should explicitly state how an individual should perform this job. This will provide future guidance as well as whether or not the job can be performed with or without any accommodation. Step 5 in the process is to organize the data concisely. The structure of your job descriptions may vary from company to company. However, a great exercise is to follow the same format for all your job postings. If you're doing this for the first time, you may want to revisit some of your previous positions and make sure that you've aligned your descriptions to make sure you aren't missing things or creating any gaps. You should aim to have all of the job descriptions within an organization standardized so they have the same appearance and ensure proper process is being followed to ensure no gaps. The following topics should be considered or included: job title, salary, who the position reports to, summary of objectives, essential functions, competencies, supervisory responsibilities, work environment, physical demands, the position type and expected hours, if there's any travel, required education and experience, or if it's preferred education and experience, and any additional eligibility qualifications. If you completed the above steps, I suggest going back to step 1 at this stage and see how your short, engaging overview of the job sounds. If you can clearly articulate your needs in a few short sentences, then you've probably done a great job of defining the requirements and understanding the needs of the company, yourself, and your team. A sixth potential step to consider is partnering with a staffing agency. Here at Express, we're experts at walking people through the above steps as quickly, efficiently, and painlessly as possible. We can be a great support when it comes to hiring, and we have many flexible options such as full-time, part-time, and contract opportunities to help with whatever your need may be. The next step in our hiring journey is developing a recruitment plan, and we're going to dig into this in some of our upcoming videos. However, in the meantime, you can also review and evaluate some of your current short-term and potential long-term hiring necessities. Look at the skills that are available within your team and look for any additional gaps that you may need to overcome. Review and define your short-term and long-term goals and your hiring plans and ensure any of your new hires fit. Thanks again for tuning in. I really hope this helps. If you'd like more info on Express, please visit our website, our Facebook, and our LinkedIn, which are all linked below, and feel free to share these resources with anyone you think that we might be able to help.